here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. As always, we are diving in here, guys. Appreciate you for stopping through. Let's continue the conversation here. And who is the best fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers? That's the big thing. That is the real question. So many flashy names being tossed around here as we rapidly approach the 2025 NFL draft. But who fits? Who really fits? That got to be a serious question. You can talk about all these flashy names. You can talk about all these picks, man. You want these sexy picks. You want these wide receivers. You want this guy. You want that guy. But who really fits into this organization, man? That's the real question here at hand as we approach the draft. So don't forget, guys, make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button, sending us out into that YouTube algorithm. What's up, Mike Miller, DJ Thomas, Miss Pittsburgh, Mark Collins? Good to see you guys in the chat downtown, John Broadway. What is up, everybody? You might have got a notification that I went live. I accidentally hit the wrong button, and I did. It was like on another thing that it wasn't even the show, but I quickly stopped it and hurried up and went on to this one that I already had made up. I don't know why I did that. That was kind of stupid. But anyway, regardless, we're here. We're here on the show, Steel City Live. Again, hey, sorry, last night I was out buying a new vehicle. I had to go. That's what we were doing all day. So I wasn't able to get back in time. By the time I got back and did all my stuff with that, you know how that is, guys. My Floyd is Pink 79. What's up, Jason DeSanders visiting us on Thursday. Meanie Falls to us. It's a guarantee we draft him. I don't think it's a guarantee, but if he's there, they're going to probably take him, guys. No doubt about that. Quarterback's one of those positions you don't pass on if there's a guy there you love. I mean, it is what it is. You take him no matter what. That's just how it goes. If you love a guy there, you're going to take him. If that guy is there when you pick, you're going to take him. Mark Collins, I seen he put something in there earlier about Amaro, I think. I thought you put that in there, Mark, earlier. Maybe I didn't see it. I don't think Rodgers will sign. But I do think he'll sign, actually. Sorry, I said that wrong. But I don't know when that will be. Let's face it, guys. Aaron Rodgers really has nothing, guys. Nothing other than the Steelers. And it's the Steelers are retirement. And I know there's a section of you guys that don't believe in Mason Rudolph. And, you know, I can't fault you for it, but I got to disagree with you. I think he's a guy that is ultra talented that will be able to get it done. I gotta disagree with you guys there. You guys that are in that section of the fan base that say Mason Rudolph isn't the guy that could get it done, because I believe with heavy firepower, he could be rather dangerous inside of this league. There's some other questions looming also around this team. TJ Watt with a cryptic Instagram post, I believe, or something like that, of a picture of himself throwing up that peace sign. Is that something cryptic? TJ Watt doesn't mess around on social media like that, or was it just a random picture? I believe it was just a random picture. Also, other news out of Pittsburgh, a radio host then in Pittsburgh, Chris Muller from 93.7 The Fan out of Pittsburgh, said that George Pickens won't be a Steeler by night 2 of the NFL draft. And why? Why would he say that? I think he thinks that the Steelers are looking to get some compensation, some value, and they think they're able to get a second-round pick for George Pickens. That would be the only way George Pickens is traded, guys. If the Steelers can get a second-round pick for George Pickens, they will trade him, in my eyes, if they could get that second-round pick back. Whether that be right or wrong, it is what it is. That's the thing. And that's another thing I think Aaron Rodgers is doing, guys. Waiting to see what the Pittsburgh Steelers do during the NFL draft. I think that that's going to be something of importance to him. Do the Steelers fully commit and add a bunch of weapons? Or do the Steelers say, you know what? We're going to go with a quarterback. We're going to go with a trade of George Pickens to try to recoup some of that draft capital to be able to fill out this 2025 draft class and a little bit more of a better way, that, you know, a little bit stronger way by getting that second round pick back. So a lot of that is going to come into the play. You know how my philosophy is with this draft. You draft best player available, and the Steelers haven't done that for quite some time. Guys, I've been standing on that table for months about drafting best player available. And I know some people say, well, if you needs. I don't see any giant holes on this roster that you have to force your hand inside of the draft by drafting out of need. I don't think that this team has those types of gaping holes. I still feel like you can go for need, but you got to take a collection of position groups that you would like to add to. You put that into a hat. And then you rank your draft board. And if one of those players happens to be there at a position that happens to be a position you need, you take it. You just take it. But you still got to get that best player available vibe. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have done that through the years. That's what made the Steelers was best player available all the time. And they went away from that, guys. And it's been something that they really hung their hat on. And again, I've been preaching it until I'm blue in the face. But, we'll see if they do that this time around. Downtown says, hey, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Best damn show on YouTube. Appreciate you, my friend. Steve Winters in the house. What's up, man? Hope you're well. Well, we are well. Thank you. It looks like the kid from Michigan might go in the top 10, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get him. But that kid out of Oregon, there's a lot of guys, man. There's the Walter Nolans of Ole Miss. There's so many guys that they could get at 21 guys. There's going to be opportunity. And I keep telling everybody, no one really knows, because until you see how the draft starts to unfold, what position groups are going to have runs, that's the thing that dictates whether people fall or people rise. That's what happens, man. You got to see the runs, and nobody can predict those runs on position groupings. Nobody. People can sit here and act like they can tell you all these things of people are going to come, people are going to be here, people are going to be there. We can all speculate, yes. We can all take our best educated guess, but until you see the runs start to happen inside of the draft, you're not going to get a clear picture. So that first 10, man, because the Steelers never pick up in the top 10. It's a gift and a curse at times. But once you see that top 10 unfold, then you can start to see how this thing's going to go. And on draft night, when we're doing these shows and we're talking about this stuff, once I get through that top 10, I'll tell you, I'll feel confident about where the Steelers are going to go. I need to see those top 10 picks because I need to see these runs. I need to see where position groups start to take off. The quarterback position isn't a monster position of depth in terms of first-round talent. So you're not going to get those runs like you got last year during the draft. When people started taking quarterbacks, teams panicked, and guys came off the board quickly, man. Guys that maybe you didn't have ranked up there, they were there. They were getting picked. Teams took it. You've seen times where left tackles or right tackles, just tackles in general, start to come off the board and people panic because they have needs. And what do those teams do? They're drafting out of necessity, out of need. They're not thinking of best player available. So that's why you see those runs start to happen, guys. It's a monkey see, monkey do type league. That's why you see the runs. And that's not how you should approach this as a general manager. I'm sorry. You don't approach this in that fashion. And when you start to approach it in that fashion, that's when you start to become deficient in a lot of areas, because you're just not going out there and getting good ball players, guys. This isn't rocket science. All the analytics, all the numbers, all the bullshit that's involved in this, all the guessing, all the mock drafts, all this, it doesn't have to be that complicated, guys. It's who is the best player on that board at the time. I don't care where they play. I'm taking that guy. That's it. That is all this needs to be. And I feel like it's been overcomplicated. And I got to say this too. General managers got to have a feel for the draft. You got to sometimes be able to go with your gut. Sometimes you got to be able to make some bam, quick decisions. That's what you got to be able to do. Yeah, the good grades, all that, Steve. Yeah, no doubt. I love to read all that stuff. I like to hear all that stuff. I love to watch all the tape. You just got to interview these people, and all these interviews that these teams do. You got to get a feel from them. You got to get a feel. Do they fit here? Do they fit our organization? And then you take your schematics. You just got to get that initial feel for the person. Then you take a look at your schematics. You say to yourself, schematically, what do we do and what do we need our players to do schematically at a high level in order to be successful? How do we attack teams? That you ask yourself that question. If you're Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, Andy Weidel, you ask yourself, how do we need to attack this? And what do our players have to do well? Then you look at that player and ask yourself, does this position that they play, do they do those things well that we need? Just because stupid hair Mel Kiper's out there saying that this player's a top 20 player or a top 2-3 position or player at this position doesn't mean that that's what you go off of. You go off of looking at a player's ability, looking how they fit into your system, and understanding, do they do the things well for your scheme, man? And if you don't do that, you're reaching, man. You're grabbing for straws. You're going off of what other people say rather than your own evaluations, guys. You have to be able to do that. Scheme is so important, and how does that player fit into that scheme, whether or not you want to take them, man. There's been lots of guys that have come through Pittsburgh that maybe weren't on the magical Mel Kiper boards out there, not being hyped up, and all of a sudden a Steeler is selected, and all of a sudden people question that, and then they end up working out. But guys, the Steelers haven't had they haven't had a lot of picks work out here in the first round anyway over the last decade or so, it feels like. But it is what it is. They've had some. We've done those numbers. We've ran those numbers before past you. So you guys know that. So we're going to continue to dive in, guys. We're going to talk everything tonight that you guys want to talk about, no doubt about it. Tomorrow night, I believe, for sure, I think Big B from Steelers Almighty will join us. We're going to talk about what he thinks the Steelers will do inside of the NFL draft. And again, I'll throw some questions at him, and we'll allow you guys to interact with us. So make sure you're here showing up and showing out and giving us some support. We appreciate that. Again, we'll do questions. We'll do all that good stuff. So make sure you are here to join us. Also, guys, make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button for us. Also sharing the show. It's rather important. And if you are not a Mic Drop Mafia member, it's 99 cents a month. Have your gifts open. A lot of times we have people gift memberships, so that's something cool. Also, guys, if you are thinking about giving a super chat, you could go ahead and gift a membership. That'd be awesome too. We'll get our membership rose up. That'd be cool. I appreciate it. But again, super chats always open, guys. Always welcome. Also, there are other ways to support the channel inside of our channel bio page. You can check those links out if you choose to do so. And we appreciate you supporting our work as we continue to strive to be one of the leaders in this space. Let's continue to go here. Steve, what's up? What did I get? A Range Rover Evoque is what I got yesterday. Well, my wife got it. But that's what we got. What's up, Mihal from Croatia? Chad Schrader, sup, Jason. Hopefully we get Aaron Rodgers' answer tonight on the Pat McAfee podcast tonight in Pittsburgh. Chad, you will not. Pat McAfee already said that that's not going to happen. He hasn't even spoken to Aaron Rodgers in weeks and months, rather. That will not happen, guys. Guys, you guys out there that are banking on Aaron Rodgers announcing this tonight at the big night out through the Pat McAfee show, you're going to be disappointed. That's not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers will not announce he is a Pittsburgh Steeler there. That is out of the mouth of Pat McAfee. He spoke with Ben Roethlisberger on Channel 7 with Big Ben in the basement, man, on the pod, and Yeah, that's not going to happen, guys. I think Aaron Rodgers is simply waiting to see what happens with this draft class because really the Vikings are out right now. And I think that is where Aaron Rodgers wants to play. I don't think he really wants to play with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think if he decides that he really has to play football, that he's just not done yet, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are that only option, he'll do it. But I don't think he wants to come to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he'll do everything that he possibly can, exhaust everything in terms of resources and ways out before he signs on the dotted line. I really, truly do believe that. I still believe he ends up being a Pittsburgh Steeler, but I believe that Minnesota's where he wants to go, which is weird to me. I know Minnesota has a great team. That's a great point of it, and I know that's probably why he wants to go there. But I couldn't bear to walk in the shadow and the footsteps of Brett Favre and go exactly through his career path like Aaron's done. I don't know. I would want to mix that up. I don't like to live in anybody's shadow. So that's just me. If Aaron's cool with that, cool with Aaron. I mean, he's a millionaire. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do, but it is what it is. That's all right, Mark. What did you get? Yeah, I already told you. I don't want to see the Steelers pick Milroe. That's from Troy. I don't either, man. He's too much of a project, guys. He's not an accurate passer. And I know a lot of fans out there, guys. You just throw names out there. You just throw names out there. A lot of fans do. I'm not saying anybody here right now does. I'm just saying in general, the Steeler fan base throws a ton of names out there. Guys, most people don't watch shit, don't know shit. They just go off of highlight tapes, and you cannot do that, guys. Highlight tapes don't tell you a lot about a player. Yeah, they show you the special things here and there that they could do, but you want to see the consistency, the real look inside of that player, and highlight tapes just don't show you that. You got to look far more into it than the highlight tapes. What's up, Alexis? What's up? It's just a random picture. TJ said he'll retire as Steeler. Yeah, he said that, but people were in an uproar. I think it might be tubes. I think it might be. I'm not a big fan of 93.7 The Fan either after they ripped me off on concert tickets after I answered a super hard trivia question that most people wouldn't know. I answered a question about who was the guy that dropped the Hail Mary in the Indianapolis Colts Pittsburgh Steelers AFC Championship game when Jim Harbaugh threw up that Hail Mary and it was dropped. It was Aaron Bailey who dropped that pass, the Indianapolis Colts wide receiver. I answered that question. They made a big to-do about it on air that it was some great thing. They said, hold, you're going to get concert tickets. They're a ripoff, guys. They never gave me shit for it. I called down there. They acted like I was crazy. Yeah, it was a total ripoff, man. I will never call in there and answer one of their trivia questions again. They can get a bunch of dumb answers from people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. I was on there. I'm like, man, it was a stumper, you know, and I thought, oh, cool, I did something cool. Maybe I'll get these concert tickets. It was for bands I didn't even like, so I wouldn't have cared any. I would have just gave them to somebody. But still, I would have liked to got them. That way I could have gave them to somebody. Somebody else could have enjoyed them. Yeah, Pony gets a lot of national recognition, and the reason I think he does is because he's controversial with some of his takes. I think he goes against the grain a lot to stir the pot, and that's smart marketing for himself. That's smart media because it gets everybody listening to it. He gets national spots, so props to the guy. The guy knows how to play the game, man. I wish I knew how to play the game as well as he does. But he goes against the grain a lot, and I think that's what promotes him out there. But he's tough listen sometimes. He's a real tough listen due to his condescending attitude and things of that nature. But that is what it is. You know, he knows how to play the game, and props to him, man. He makes a living at it. What's up, Roberta Campbell? But who is giving the second pick? And where the draft would you believe, Jason? I don't know downtown. I don't know who would. That's what I think. That's the only way the Pittsburgh Steelers would get rid of him. I don't know what team that would be, but that would be the only way the Steelers do separate from George Pickens. Mark Collins, I really think they should draft. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, he could be Mark. I agree with you. He's a hell of a player. But chances are, you know, if he's that elite, and he's not going to be there, you know? But I wish he was. I hope he is. I turned it on after you've said it a couple times, and definitely am impressed with him, no doubt about it. Mark Malone in the house, man. I hope we can trade back for a defensive tackle or a running back. I don't know if running back's a smart move, guys. I know they met with Marion Hampton from North Carolina, a guy that I believe is going to be a generational talent. In my eyes, I don't know if that's the way to go. I just don't see it. Guys, you drafted a running back in Najee Harris in the first round, and where is he right now? Making $5.24 million or something like that with the Chargers with $4 million worth of incentives, I think totaling about $9.1 million if he got it all, if he reached all the incentives. That's where he is at, guys, right now. That should tell y'all something about maybe reaching for a running back inside of the first round. I don't think running back's a position that you take unless it's a generational talent. Maybe a Marion Hampton, maybe a Genty. If they're there, it could be a consideration because they could be the best player on the board at that time. So I wouldn't disagree with it there, but I wouldn't trade up for it or do anything weird. I would just, if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. I think defensive tackle is a deep class this year too. I think you can get quality player later. Again, wherever the best player available plays, that's where that's the position you're taking inside of round one. And I think the Steelers have to get back to that, guys. If you've watched this show, I've been preaching this for so many months, man. And I know it falls on deaf ears. They're not going to listen to Jason, but damn. Thank you, DJ Thomas. Always come here for Steelers Truth. Mark Collins, I say let's roll with Rudolph. Me too, man. My Floyd is pink. Pat McAfee said Aaron Rodgers. Nope, he won't. Blessed with the curse. Russ, what's up, man? Yeah, I seen your email come through, Russ. We'll get you, man. I'll give you a call. We'll get it handled. It's still on there, Russ. It ain't going nowhere, so it's not gonna go away or anything. Just to let you know, brother, it's on there. It'll keep going. So I don't think it'll be an issue. So we'll get it switched up. We'll get your account log back on so you can get back on it. Mark Collins says, I say the guy at quarterback is Will Howard. Did you watch him on John Gruden quarterback show? He knocked it out of the park. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think Will Howard's still a little bit of a project too, Mark. You know what I mean? I think if you're going to line him up with Tyler Shuck in terms of ability on the field, I think Tyler Shuck blows him out of the water, in my opinion. That's my opinion in terms of quarterback ready at the NFL level. I think Howard's a smart guy. I think he got a strong arm. I think he can play really well with athletic. I wouldn't hate it. But he's a guy also that you're not going to pick up in that first round. Also, guys, Shedeur Sanders meeting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Does that mean that they are really high on him? I think the answer is always yes. He's a quarterback. He is at the most premier position in the NFL. The position needed the most, really, in terms of are you going to win a Super Bowl or not? And if Shedeur Sanders is there, guys, they're going to take him. I know that for sure. That doesn't need any speculation. That doesn't need any talking about. If Shedeur Sanders slides to 21, the Steelers will take him at 21. No doubt about it. End of discussion. Done. That will happen, guys. No doubt. I love Shedeur. I think Shedeur could be a really, really good quarterback at the NFL level. I think he will need a year or two, though. I don't think he's a plug-and-play guy. I think he needs a year just to get his feet wet, come in here situationally maybe spot start here for Mason if Mason's the starter or something here and there, get his feet wet, because I just don't want to see Shedeur get thrusted into something. I don't want to see Shedeur get ruined because I really, really like Shedeur because he played behind zero offensive line, man. He had no offensive line help at all. And that kid would stand in that pocket and deliver footballs and take monster hits. He would move out of the pocket and throw downfield with accuracy and tremendous arm strength. I feel like Shedeur Sanders can translate his game into the NFL. He's a smart kid well, smart young man. I'm not going to call him a kid. Smart young man. A guy I think that understands the defenses from top to bottom. And I think he is going to be able to be one of those guys that come in and can carve you up with his brain and carve you up with his athletic ability and his arm also. Is Shedeur a guy that's going to run all over the place? No, and I don't think that he wants to be that guy. I think he wants to be that guy that has the ball in his hands late in the fourth quarter and will stand in the pocket and deliver highly accurate passes all over the football field, putting the ball in the hands of the playmakers. That's what Shedeur Sanders wants to do. His eyes always looking downfield, and that is something else that's really special about Shedeur. And again, good movement, good quick movement. I really like Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, best. No, you don't take that. You have Zach Frazier, so best player. I mean, if you got a stud there, you're not going to take him, no doubt. There's limits to everything, Mark. That's just everything got some limits to it. Everything got some, oh, we have Zach Frazier. We got the best center in the draft in 2024. We're not going to go out there and draft another one. We just go down. If the center's the best player available, which it won't be because there isn't one on the draft board that you're going to take probably at 21. So, yeah, you just wouldn't. No doubt about it. You would move down your list to that next guy. Danny George, what's up? Let's keep going. Yeah, Anderson signed for 2 years. No, nothing's up with Troy Fautanu, guys. Just because they signed somebody in terms of tackle, Mark brought up they'd signed Anderson for 2 years, the tackle. Guys, they have to add depth there. That doesn't mean something's up with Troy Fautanu. That doesn't mean they're trying to get rid of Broderick Jones. Guys, the Steelers are in a spot that I think many Steeler fans overlook, and that is they are in an excellent position with top-rated talent all across that offensive line. And I think people think offensive lines just come together. Throw those guys out there. They come together. Guys, they don't. They take a couple years, and these guys are going to get moving, man, especially if they start playing together as a group that's steady, that they got steady presences, and injuries, determine some of that, things of that nature. But you got to get these guys reps. You got to get them reps together. It's not just, all right, let's bring in a bunch of guys that'll do well. No, that's not how offensive lines work. That's just not the way they go. Does it help to have some premier talent? Yeah, no doubt. I think the Steelers have that. We'll see. No, I'm not a doctor. I wish I was a doctor. Steve, what's up? Do you think the Steelers would trade up if they really like somebody? Are they willing to trade up because they never do that? Actually, they trade up way more than they've ever traded back. Trading back is probably more of a fluke, Steve, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They traded up to get Broderick Jones. They've traded up several times that I can remember in my mind. But the Steelers have definitely traded up way more than they've ever traded back. So if you were talking about tendencies inside of the draft, the Steelers definitely trade up more than they trade back in the draft. So do I think they would trade up for somebody if they really liked them? Yes, but guys, you also have to take into consideration they don't have a tremendous amount of draft capital here in 2025. They're minus a second-round pick already. They don't have a ton. If the Steelers are going to do anything in this draft, it has to be trade back because they have to recoup some draft picks. Shorting themselves on even more draft capital would just almost be foolish. It'd have to be a generational type talent, man. Those types of guys you don't pass up. But it is what it is. Sorry, guys. I had somebody at my front door here. Hold on, guys. Aiden. Hold on, guys. I got to see who's at my door. Hold on 1 second. Looked like somebody was knocking at my door. Stay there, my friends. Stay there. Aiden. Who's out front? Make sure you're not your brother, and if it is, time to get in. All right, guys. I'm back. I was making sure my youngest son didn't go outside. His big brother's down there. I mean, he's 10 years old, but still, I didn't want him to be outside. Not while I'm doing this. I'm a hoverer, Dad. I hover. Let's keep going. Lee Will, Pittsburgh, been a mediocre team and hasn't won anything in years. Yeah, and I mean, what do you want me to respond to that, Lee? Mark, Rodgers is waiting until after the draft. He thinks the Steelers are getting rid of George Pickens. Maybe he does. Nobody knows, Mark. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe he thinks that. But nobody knows, guys. Nobody out there. The Adam Schefters, nobody knows why he's waiting.
We don't know who it is.
Who is it?
We don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
It's this random guy.
What'd he say?
No, we didn't answer it.
What'd he ask you for?
Nothing. He just knocked, and that's it.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Some random guy. They're nuts, dude. These kids, they are nuts. I'm a hovering dad, guys, so sometimes I worry and freak out. Hopefully someone we don't need drops and we can trade back, need elite running back, defensive tackle, and quarterback. Yeah, I'd take any of them, Mark. I'd take any of them. Howard and Chuck are the only two quarterbacks that have what it takes. That's from Mark. Pittsburgh 412. Sanders is a franchise quarterback. He could be, potentially. Armand, my ortho doctor shot up my knees today. He's a UCF doctor, too. He said Stiller's interested in Harvey. He named 3 teams to the doctor. I forgot the other 2. Oh, cool. Hey, man. It's good to have inside track. Wave that terrible towel for Miss P. Michael, what do you think about my Bears? Sorry about a curveball. I think the Bears made a foolish choice with Caleb Williams. That's just my opinion because I just feel like he's going to be a monumental failure inside of the NFL. That's just me. Now that they've got Ben Johnson, maybe though that changes. But I think the Bears could potentially be good. I just think that they make some moves sometimes that don't make sense either. They're a head scratcher type franchise. You know, you sit back sometimes and you wonder what they're doing. But I think they have the opportunity with Ben Johnson there to be really, really good. But again, I think that's going to be dependent on Caleb Williams. Can he get out of his own way in terms of? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I got a lot to say about it, but I don't want to get into it today. Harvey, a 4th rounder, but VG player. That's from Armand. Big Russ says, I want to roll with Mason to spend $40 million on the rest of the team instead of Rodgers. Yeah, you could do it, man. I think Mason's good. Autopilot, why don't analysts talk about how accurate a quarterback is anymore? They immediately point to arm talent and athleticism. Well, Autopilot, if you come here to Mike Drop Sports, you would hear me talk about it quite often because I believe accuracy, I believe anticipation, I believe in the sheer knowledge, football knowledge that a quarterback possesses of the utmost importance. And I talk about it quite frequently. I talk about the Steelers needing that. And that's what you have to do. You don't evaluate a quarterback on their athleticism and their arm strength. Arm strength helps, but that's way down the list. You need somebody that's going to be able to come up and understand the defense that's in front of them. Point blank, period, guys. You have to have it. Whether you want to think that a lot of fans think that a guy's just going to get behind there and run. It's like a video game like Mike Vick used to do. Everybody can't do that, guys. And that don't win championships. How many championships those guys got? Mike Vick. How many Mike Vick get? I'm just asking. I'm just saying. You got to have a guy. I love Mike Vick. I was just using him as an example because he runs around. But you got to have a guy that's not a run-first guy. You got to have a guy that always has his eyes down the field, that is highly accurate, that knows how to anticipate throws, guys, that knows and understands how to throw a wide receiver open at the NFL level. No, this isn't going to be college open for these guys. That's the biggest thing, my friends. You cannot sit there and think people are going to be college open because that's not going to happen. Everybody is far too good. You're not going in there and playing, Burger U, you're not doing that on a Saturday. This is NFL Sundays. You're going up against the best of the best, and you have to be able to be prepared for that. And you have to understand that Most throws in the NFL are timing, anticipation type throws. That's what the NFL's all about. It's not like, oh, Johnny's standing over here. There ain't nobody around him for 20 yards. We're going to just dump it in there. That's what you see on a lot of these college highlight tapes. Guys, I don't care if you beat up on some no-name college. That doesn't impress me. Guys, that doesn't impress me at all. I don't know. I don't get it. Let's get down a little bit, guys. I'm going to try to mix the chat up a little bit. Deion Sanders and his son are winners. If you don't like their confidence, that's a shame. I like their confidence. Here's the thing. They do them, and hey, I'll wait for the show, man. I enjoy the show. I enjoy the competitiveness. Yeah, our interior does. They have almost a full season. McCormick, Siamalu, Frazier, they do. Now, if you can get the edges combined with that and get those guys all to jail, understand their assignments, yeah, definitely, they can be. Let's keep going. Ryan Stevenson, Steelers Nation, waiting for McAfee live like it's the Super Bowl. Guys, there's nothing happening there. I mean, it's fun to watch Pat. I mean, that's a cool show. But if you think that all of a sudden you're getting a signing for the Steelers, guys, you're not getting it. Please don't think that. You don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you. Oh, man, guys, I got some wings marinating right now. Teriyaki. Ooh, baby, I can't wait. Garlic Parmesan. They're marinating. Some barbecue. Got some Maud. Ooh, but my mouth's a little hotter than most mouths. Ooh, I can't wait. I'm going to go hit them up on a grill after this show, man. Yeah, tonight, guys, I'll also remind you, tomorrow night I'll be joined, I believe we switched it. So Big B will be here, so make sure you join us for that. I want you guys to show up and show out, man. We'll get on there. We're going to do draft stuff tomorrow also, but we're going to go, I'm going to get his picks and things of that nature for our show. Steeler Nation 412, did you see Watt's new post? Yeah, I saw it, man. I'm not reading anything into it. Guys, I think it's being blown out of proportion. Man, we live in a weird society though now, guys. And that this isn't this is just in general for media, not for Steelers Nation 412. That's not what I'm not like dogging him or anything. I'm just saying we live in a weird society that somebody posts a random picture and we're trying to read into everything. Guys, some things just ain't that serious, man. Some things just aren't that important, dude. I mean, guys, let it simmer a little bit. Trust me, if there was news going on, there would be something out there. The world does need good fathers. Jason, my personal opinion is I think Dart is going to be a stud. I don't know if we'll draft him, but I think he's going to be a good one. But you're absolutely right. You take the best player available. I mean, there's 5 different positions the Steelers can look at. Yeah, they can look at them all. You don't discount. There's all positions are open except for, if you got a star there, do you want to draft somebody in the first round? Maybe not. I don't know. I guess it would depend on where in the career that star is, Yeah, it's tough. But best player available, I think, is the philosophy. I'm not saying there isn't rules to it or there isn't exceptions to it that you got to kind of follow in order to get these best players available to fit your football program. I'm not saying that, but if you have the fundamental basis of best player available, you can't go wrong. As far as Dart, I like Dart. Do I think he's a 21st overall pick? I don't, guys. Some of you may think that. I don't. And do I think he's going to be good at the NFL level? I think so. I just don't think he's going to be 21 overall pick in my eyes. I just don't feel that he is that guy. I'm not saying he isn't going to be good. I'm not saying he isn't going to have a monster career. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in terms of draft value. Because we're going off of a collection of tape that these guys have put together at a college level. And you got to look at trends. You got to look at consistency. You got to look at anticipation. You got to look at field vision. How are their eyes? How are their feet? Do they have happy feet? Do they not? Are their eyes pointed downfield at all times? Are they, when they're on the move, are their eyes pointed down the field at all times? Do they try to create things in the pass game instead of taking off running all the time? Those things you have to ask yourself for a quarterback, you know? And if the answers aren't what you want to hear in any of those categories, you got to ask yourself, how long would it take to teach that guy this, if ever? You got to ask yourself that. I like Dart. Yeah. Pat Meyer sucks. What's up, Foots Big? Pittsburgh 412. Mark Malone. I do like, he's talking to Mark. Palm Wishel, we should take the best player available in the draft or best defensive player. Yeah, best player, period, man. Whoever you got ranked on top of your board, pull the trigger, man. Do it up. Roberta, hey, are they showing the Pat McAfee show somewhere? I show them. I don't know if they're showing it. Probably on Pat's channel, guys. It'll probably be on there. I don't think it's till like 8 o'clock or something. The last few years they have for needs at a position, the Steelers under Knoll, they drafted the best player available if they fit their system. That's how they got to do it, guys. No doubt about it. All right, guys, make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns in there. We'll go for a little bit longer. I know Pat McAfee shows tonight, so I don't want to hold people up too long. So, again, we'll go for a little bit longer. Tomorrow night, make sure you guys are here. We're going to do a bunch of draft stuff. We'll see how this all rolls. Make sure, though, you guys hop on in and ask a bunch of questions and get involved into the chat tomorrow night. Again, tonight's Pat's show. Plus, I want to go grill some wings. Again, thank you for bearing with me as I was doing some stuff yesterday. But I did manage to get every car detailed and all that kind of stuff. And I got my grass cut. Man, you know you're getting old when you want to brag to people about how banging ass your grass looks, about how awesome your grass looks. I've been cutting grass for a long time, man, and I've never been able to figure this shit out to get it perfect. I got that shit perfect. It's like walking on carpet, guys. It's like a comforter. It's perfect. It's the perfect height. It's absolutely green as shit. Man, I got the right combination of fertilizers, grass seeds. Yeah. Man, after all these years, I finally did it. I get my lines in there. It looks like I got big swooping lines in my front yard. I finally figured it out. Yeah, it should be, man. Thank you, Miss P. Yeah, sorry. Tonight's going to be probably like 45 minutes here, guys. So, again, I know Pat shows tonight, and I'm not going to compete with Pat McAfee. But I want you guys to be able to go over there and watch it, you know. So support a guy from Pittsburgh. I know he's a gazillionaire at this point. You know, he doesn't really need everybody's support. But, yeah, go throw some love to a hometown guy. Yeah, I love stuffed chicken breast, man. I love that. Yeah, we did. I think that's why my yard, I threw down a lot of fertilizer and, well, not a lot, what I needed, the actual dose. I have a probe that I stick in the ground and I put it in different spots of the yard and it measures like my pH and all that shit and tells me like what type of chemicals I would need in my soil. So it like analyzes my soil. And I add the chemicals that it needs, but I have two big dogs, so I only ever treat the front. I will seed the backyard, overseed it with my Kentucky Blue a little bit. Sometimes you do that overseeding and it helps fill it out a little bit. I have two big labs that are like 100 pounds each, so they're big monsters that, I don't want nothing by them in terms of chemicals, so I always am real careful with that. I chemical the front yard because they don't go out in the front yard. When I walk them, I take them down the driveway. I don't even let them in the front yard because that's like my masterpiece. But we have gotten a lot of rain, and that does help, man, no doubt. Like, it was soggy a little bit. Like, I could feel it, like, sogging out a little bit, like, going down a little bit when I walked. But, yeah, guys. Also, man, I'm trying to come up with some show ideas here, man. Maybe again some members only live streams we're gonna do, things like that. We got to take this thing to the next level, man. We're in this like teeter totter mode. It's the off season, so it's like diehards really are watching. That's about it right now. But we're in that like teeter totter. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of some new things. So we're going to do that. Don't forget, we're going to do our giveaways again. We're trying to get to that number we want to get to. I might lower it a little bit so we can get that giveaway going for the TJ Watt jersey. So I might do that. But yeah, a lot of things exciting. Again, don't forget to join us tomorrow, man. Don't read into all the hype, guys. Don't click on all the clickbait. Come here if you need to. Sorry for all the interruptions tonight, but yeah, it was just a freestyle show tonight. So, yeah, kids, they're always crazy. And dad is a hoverer, like I said. So I'm always like, who the hell? Where are you going? What are you doing? So, all right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow, man. I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And, man, I can't wait for football. I can't wait. I'm so ready for this draft. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.